You've evolved. Your world has changed, but your brain? It still thinks you're in the wild. That's why you feel afraid, even when there's nothing there. These fears don't belong to you. They belong to your ancestors, and they still control everything you do. You scroll, you flinch, you overthink, and you wonder, why am I like this? The truth? You are the result of thousands of years of survival instincts. Outdated software running in a modern machine. You were built to dodge predators, not push notifications. To live in tribes, not timelines. And that's why you still obey instincts that evolution forgot to delete. Here are 10 ancient fears your brain still follows, even when they make no sense. 10. Fear of the dark. You don't fear the dark because it's empty. You fear it because it used to be full of predators. Before electricity, the night meant you were blind to danger, and danger wasn't a maybe. Those who stayed alert in the dark lived. Those who didn't become ancestors. So now, even in a locked home, your heart still races when the lights go out. That's not irrational, it's inherited. 9. Fear of being watched. You feel eyes on you, even when you're alone. It's not paranoia, it's survival. In the wild, being watched often meant you were prey. A glance could mean ambush. So today, crowded rooms, cameras, or even silence can trigger that same alarm. Your brain still thinks attention equals threat. 8. Startle reflex to loud noises. That jolt you feel when something crashes or bangs? It's your nervous system launching you into defense mode. Sudden sounds used to signal a predator's attack or a storm that could kill. You're not jumpy. You're hardwired to assume the worst instantly. 7. Panic over rejection. Why does ghosting or social silence hurt physically? Because to ancient humans, rejection wasn't emotional, it was deadly. Exile from the tribe meant isolation, and isolation meant death. So your brain evolved to treat rejection like an open wound, because once it was. 6. Overeating and hoarding. You binge even when you're full. You stock up on things you don't need. That's not greed, that's ancestral logic. In times of famine, those who ate when food was there survived. So your instincts still tell you, take more now, before it's gone, even when nothing is running out. 5. Obsession with social approval. You obsess over what others think. You replay what you said, how you looked, how you were judged. Because back then, being accepted wasn't nice, it was necessary. Tribes protected those they trusted. Standing out meant suspicion, and suspicion meant exile. You don't want attention. You want to survive in plain sight. 4. Fear of change. You dread uncertainty. You freeze when plans fall apart. Because in prehistoric times, unfamiliar paths could lead to cliffs, predators, or rival tribes. Routine meant survival. So now, your brain sounds alarms over simple changes, even if it's just a new job or a different route home. 3. Constant overthinking. You replay conversations. You imagine outcomes before they happen. You prepare for danger that never arrives. This isn't a flaw, it's a leftover. The hyper-aware survived. So your brain keeps you alert, even if the only threat is a message you forgot to reply to. 2. Fear of being alone. You crave company. Not because you're needy, but because you're human. Alone, our ancestors were vulnerable to predators, to starvation, to madness. Today, you might be safe alone in your room, but your brain doesn't believe that. It still thinks solitude is a countdown to danger. 1. Fear of not being in control. You hate unpredictability. You panic when you can't fix things. You feel unsafe when life gets chaotic. Because in the wild, control was survival. Planning meant living. Now, even in a world of schedules and passwords, your brain breaks when reality slips beyond its grip. Not because it's fragile, but because it's ancient. You're not broken. You're programmed. Every time you overreact, panic, freeze, it's not you. It's your survival code, passed down from lives lived in the dark. But now, So next time your heart races in a quiet room, next time you fear something that isn't even there, ask yourself, is it fear or is it just evolution echoing through me? And if you're ready to question everything you thought was normal, subscribe, because the real darkness isn't out there. It's already inside you.